Let us start with Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Adrienne Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland. She is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movements as a poet and theorist. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, 3 collections of essays, and other writings. A strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of marriage life a woman experiences. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. First, let us understand why the tigers are called Aunt Jennifer's tigers. Since Aunt Jennifer is weaving tigers on the panel, they are referred to as hers. Here, the word panel means an embroidery board in which she is weaving the tigers. Thus, Aunt Jennifer's tigers are her own creation, and they seem to be prancing or jumping across a screen. The word screen over here means a wall. The prancing tigers symbolize the spirit of freedom within Aunt Jennifer, which remains subdued, and they also symbolize her fear of male counterparts. Like all beasts of prey, the tigers are the denizens of the green forest. Denizens means the dwellers or the inhabitants of the forests. The metaphor bright topaz depicts the shining yellow complexion of the tigers. Topaz is a transparent yellow stone used in jewelry. Like ruby is red, sapphire is blue, emerald is green. Same way, topaz is transparent yellow stone used in jewelry. The prancing tigers do not fear the men beneath the tree, and they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. The word chivalric indicates majestic and honorable position that they occupy. In the world of animals, uncertainty means confidence. Thus, Aunt Jennifer's tigers are impressive, majestic, and courageous, a picture of strength, beauty, and certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Aunt Jennifer is making her tigers on a panel. Her fingers are fluttering through her wool, and she finds the ivory needle quite hard to pull. The reason is obvious. The weight of years of her unhappy married life lies heavily upon her hand, and the massive weight of a wedding band symbolizes the ordeals and hardships of Aunt Jennifer's married life. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. In the third stanza, the poet refers to Aunt Jennifer's terrified hands. Her hands are called terrified because she experienced a lot of hardships and difficult times during her married life. These ordeals crushed and suppressed her, and their effect has left its print on her hands. So she is still ringed with those ordeals that dominated her life. The poet is trying to tell us in the third stanza that her terrified hands tell the whole story of her unhappy marriage life, even when Aunt Jennifer is dead. Hardships and sufferings were part of Aunt Jennifer's marriage life. These ordeals and hardships crushed and suppressed her, and she was in a grip of a very tough life. But the tigers she made in the panel will go on jumping ahead, proud and unafraid. It is ironical that such a lady who has not yet freed herself from the unpleasant experiences of the past creates such sleek and prancing tigers. The word ringed here is significant. It suggests that her unhappy marriage life is still holding on to her tightly. The word ringed has been used in two different ways: conventional use and the figurative use. In the conventional use, the ring is a symbol of bond, and in the figurative use, it means encircled or surrounded. The poet is trying to tell us that Aunt Jennifer is still surrounded by her unhappy married life. How do denizens and chivalry add to the understanding of the tiger's attitudes? The tigers are the dwellers of the green forest. That's why they are referred to as denizens. They are called chivalric because they are brave, fearless, and occupy an honorable position amongst other animals in the forest. They pace with an impressive confidence. Thus, the words denizens and chivalric are highlighted here, and they make us understand the attitude of the tigers. Why do you think Aunt Jennifer's hands are fluttering through her wool in second stanza? And why is she finding needles so hard to pull? The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band suggests the harsh and unpleasant experiences of Aunt Jennifer's married life and the oppressive control of her husband over her, which has taken away her freedom and independence. The wedding band is a symbol of conjugal happiness, but ironically for Aunt Jennifer, it has become a burden. In the third stanza, the poet refers to Aunt Jennifer's terrified hands. The old unhappy memories still linger in her mind. She passed through many painful experiences as well as unpleasant and terrifying periods during her married life. These ordeals crushed and suppressed her. Their effect is still visible. She is still in grip of those ordeals and terrors that she faced and suffered from during her married life. The poet is trying to tell us that the terrified hands tell the whole story of her unhappy married life. Why do you think Aunt Jennifer created animals that are so different from her character? What might the poet be suggesting through this difference? Since Aunt Jennifer is embroidering the motif of tigers on a panel, they are referred to as hers and are her own creation. They seem to be prancing across a screen. Prancing tigers are a symbol of the spirit of freedom within Aunt Jennifer, which remains subdued. They also symbolize a fear of male counterparts. Aunt Jennifer's tigers pace in sleek chivalric certainty. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. Thus, they are symbols of strength, fierceness, and beauty. Aunt Jennifer, on the other hand, is weak and terrified. Her fingers are so terrified that they find it hard to pull even the ivory needle. The massive weight of the wedding band sits heavily on her hands, and her terrified hands are still ringed by the ordeals of her married life. Thus, the contrast is amply highlighted. Interpret the symbols found in the poem. Adrian Rich's Aunt Jennifer's Tigers is a beautiful short poem rich in symbolism. The metaphor bright topaz depicts the shining yellow complexion of her tigers and the effective use of alliteration in sleek chivalric certainty describes the pace of the tigers effectively and the image, the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band, symbolizes the ordeals and hardships of Aunt Jennifer's married life. Terrified hands and ringed with ordeals also indicate those unpleasant experiences that are still clinging on to Aunt Jennifer physically and mentally. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band suggests the ordeals and hardships of Aunt Jennifer's married life. These ordeals crushed and suppressed her. Thus, the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily on her hands. Do you sympathize with Aunt Jennifer? What is the attitude of the speaker towards Aunt Jennifer? Yes, we do sympathize with Aunt Jennifer. She experienced hardships and ordeals during her married life. The speaker is also equally sympathetic towards Aunt Jennifer. The poet has given many suggestive images and symbols to present an old lady who passed through painful experiences as well as unpleasant and terrifying periods during her married life. So, yes, we do sympathize with Aunt Jennifer.